Today I want to talk about airports and events, right? I think two huge money makers from the past that both Uber and Lyft screwed up royally. And my message is more for the investors. I know they put their complete and utter trust and blind hope into these executives, but these teams are not, boots on the ground. They don't know what happens on the street. So you have an army of engineers guided by some fancy schwancy ideas of executives, right? And I think that investors or stockholders are ultimately paying the price for that poor management, those really poor decisions made on the street. First of all, happy week, everyone, right? On a positive note. But you look at airports around the country. I read the text messages, I read the email messages. Let's just take LAX, for example. Hardly anything going on. They completely and utterly destroyed their airport market, where we once upon a time made good money. And it all boils down to greed and really poor decisions by management, upper management executives. Daryl Khosrowshahi really has to take the blame here. How much can we extract from a driver and food delivery driver, but drivers at airports, right? How much can we get out of them? And they just went lower and lower and lower and lower, month by month, until drivers said, screw it, airports done. And man, do I know of thousands and thousands of drivers that just gave up on the airports. No money to be made. And the very same thing with events, right? You have football season, you have concerts, COVID's over, everything's back, and great money-making opportunities once upon a time, right? But again, greed sets in, ultra high prices at these events for riders, and no surges. Look at Vegas. Why did they strike? Because the companies went out and overcharged the riders and didn't pass the money on to the drivers. So drivers say, well, why should I do events? So literally these two big money-making opportunities for both sides, for the company and for us, completely destroyed by greed and by poor decisions of the management, right? And investors need to know this, and investors really need to, take sides here with the drivers. We give them the intel on the street, they just don't act on it. Now, what do they have to do? As you can see in the screenshot, they now have to pay more or incentives to try and lure you back. So all that greed, all of those manipulating ways of extracting monies at events and airports backfired. They completely backfired, because if everything was working smoothly, you'd see a lot of drivers at airports, no more, and they wouldn't have to throw out these offers. Like they're trying to throw an extra $10 at an NFL event, right? Well, we need you because we screwed up. Sorry, we underpaid you. We overcharged the rider. We just took too much. Our greed took over, and now we try to get you back. And that to me is not a winning formula for a company. When you go in and just completely guided by greed, how much can we take? All short-term thinking, pay the price, lose the market, lose the drivers, lose that revenue stream. And then you have to dig in again and say, okay, how do we get them back? $10. This $10, ladies and gentlemen, this $10 for these events confirms that they have messed up events big time. Because if everything was fine, if everything was flowing, and everything was like in a win-win situation, they wouldn't have to throw out these offers. So food for thought here. Hopefully we have a lot of drivers sharing this video, right? And if you're tweeting it, maybe, dear investor, pay attention to this, because you are completely destroying your airport markets worldwide. you know, if it's Denver Airport or Vegas Airport or LAX, they're doing the same thing, right? It's just pilgrimage, just raping drivers as much as they can, and ultimately now they're paying the price. It is sad to see, my friends, when I go into LAX daily, what's going on there, right? Taxis are dominating. Now, I mean, Uber's already sleeping with the taxi industry again, so who knows? You know, there might be taxi drivers at the airports now taking Uber trips. You just don't know, right? I'd like to get some intel. Maybe some taxi drivers would like to share, right? Are you at the airport? Are they making it more attractive for you? Because I don't see the Uber and the Lyft drivers at the airports anymore. It seems to have completely dried up. And the same at events. You know, people are too smart now. They are setting up their LLCs. They're becoming private drivers. At the events, they're charging what they should be charging as independent contractors. And by the way, I teach that at Gig Rocket. The link is below. You got to take the private chauffeur course, right? So they've destroyed the events market. Now they're throwing, you know, little bones here and there, dangling little carrots. Come back, please come back. Please come back for the $10. But you have yourselves to blame, executives at Uber and Lyft. There's only one group of people to blame, and that is you, right? You're just going out there, greed, and it's dried up, man. It's like a camel in the desert looking for water if you're trying to go to an airport and make money or at an event. Set up your own LLC, start getting your own private clients, charge them what you need to charge them, and please put 100% of those monies into your pocket. God bless you all. Have a great week. And do share. I love reading the comments and I love replying. Have a good one. Bye-bye.